Coco Chanel was a fashion designer in the 1940s, very famous for her clothing that we see nowadays. Coco Chanel was a singer for a brief amount of time, and also she was born on August 19th, 1883 in Saumur, France.
Il arrive que des gens, vous reconnaissant dans la rue, vous parlent. Oui. Beaucoup trop de monde. Ils sont fatigués, ça. Et puis des gens qui viennent me dire bonjour, moi je ne les connais pas.
In her early 20s, Coco considered herself to be more independent and solo when it came to men, and also stated, "As long as you know men are like children, then you know everything." After Coco Chanel's huge success selling hats, she later went on to adding stores and environments, but this time adding clothes to her business. Her first successful piece of clothing that she made was a dress made out of an old jersey. World War II started, so had the Chanel business that she owned, and it was believed that she had ties with Nazis. Coco Chanel acted as a Nazi spy during the Second World War, carrying out several spy and recruitment missions. Chanel was indeed involved with the Nazis. She was codenamed Westminster. Coco Chanel had an affair with the Nazi spy during World War II, and this brought more light into her being a spy. Coco Chanel sided with the Germans even though she was French, due to her having her Nazi boyfriend. It was interesting for Coco Chanel to have sided with Nazis even though she sold her perfume to a Jewish family in 1924. Coco Chanel fled to Switzerland after the war, and she wasn't tried as a collaborator. Coco Chanel was more of a solo person, but the one interesting person in her life was Nazi officer Hans Gunther von Dinklage. He managed her business relations with her occupation authority and helped her become even more involved with the Nazis. Coco Chanel is still part of our modern world. She influenced pants for women, sailor tops, and custom jewelry. Her products such as lipstick, clothes, and perfume continue to be sold today.
January 10th, 1971, she had designed her own tomb. "Without stone above me," she said, "I would want to leave if I had the wish to go to heaven and dress the angels."
I love you.
Chanel, number 5.
Coco Chanel's business made her an icon in World War II.
N'aurais pas vu Coco, Coco dans le Trocadéro, Coco dans le trou, Coco dans le trou, Coco dans le Trocadéro. Kika, Kika, vu Coco.
This is a man.
Before Coco Chanel was selling dresses, she was selling hats in 1910. Coco Chanel was a contradictory. On one hand, she was anti-Semitic, but on the other hand, she worked with Jewish families like the Rothschilds, and her best partner was a Jewish man as well.
Work, each day adding to the allure of Chanel. The beige shoe with its black toe, the quilted bag and its chain shoulder strap, and later, as if in farewell, number 19.
Couture. She adopts elegance, movement, minimalism, and straight cuts in a
They
time.
fall in love. Westminster invites her to his houses and on board his yachts, sends a private train to collect her and showers her with flowers and jewels. Their love soon wanes. She'd never. From the first day, she rails against the fashions designed by men, who have once again bound women in bustiers.
Even after 100 years of its release, Coco Chanel's perfume is still one of the most famous fragrances. Coco Chanel had completely changed the face of fashion at the time, and this made her one of the most influential women during the time of World War II. Coco Chanel is the only fashion designer listed in Time magazine's 100 most influential people of the 20th century. The Nazis had ordered Coco Chanel to do many trips, especially negotiating with Churchill. Churchill had kept Coco Chanel from being prosecuted when she went to Switzerland, all from her negotiations with the Nazis. A man who helped her start her business was named Etienne Balsan. France thought Coco Chanel was too comfortable with the Germans, so this made them uncomfortable. All this is mostly due to her relationship with her Nazi boyfriend, which also frustrated France. After all the information given, it's a possibility that Coco Chanel might have been a Nazi spy. Today we still see Coco Chanel's clothing all around us, since it's one of the most popular clothing brands in the world.